Yeah, so, the stock market can be passive, but it takes a lot of time to get there. And think about it, it's gonna take a long time for you to get to $500,000 invested, so then therefore you have an income. And then if you had a dividend off that $500,000, let's say of 2 or 3%, that's additional income that you can live off of. But so if you had $1 million, let's double it. So if you had 500K, you'd be at 50. If you had $1 million invested in the stock market at 10%, which is the average return over the last how many years, it would be $100,000 a year that you could live on. That's good. So you could get $1 million. But remember, some years it's gonna return 6%. Some years it's gonna return 10%. Some years it's gonna return 15%. It's not a straight line. Nothing is. So you gotta understand that too. It's not just gonna be $100,000 a year forever. It's gonna be 120 sometimes. It's gonna be 80, 60, etc. That's the other thing you have to take into consideration with the stock market is it's not a straight line. There is dividends which help. There's income that you're gonna make. 10 to 12% is a good, baseline, but you always got to think, hey, what's happening here, what's happening there, and just kind of take that into consideration. And it takes a long time to get to $1 million, dollars in the stock market. Probably on average about like 20 years at least if you're investing, 10 to 20. If you're investing a lot, 10 years. If you're investing a good amount, 20 years. So it's 20 years for you to get to, $1 million, and then 20 to 30 years to get to $2 or $3 or $4 million. But if you do that, it gets better, because if you had $2 million in the stock market, you'd have $200,000 a year to live on average year. $3 million would be $300K, $4 million, $400K, $5 million, $500K, etc. But it's very reasonable, in a 30-year, 40-year lifetime, to get between $1 and $5 million in the stock market if you're investing consistently over a long term, and you're planning, you're doing dividends, and you're reinvesting, and all that fun stuff. All that to say though, the stock market is kind of passive.